Hello, everybody. Welcome. Okay. I'm just doing my Palo Santo thing while everyone hops on. Who's here on YouTube? I see someone here already. Come on, light. Hi, Balenci. How are you? Hi, Jamie. Hi, Chelsea. Okay. So if you guys have joined before, you know that Chelsea, that sometimes she's under my name, but that if it's me typing to you, that it's usually Chelsea just helping me keep everything flowing and moving forward so that I could just focus on the reading. So she's the one that keeps track of the list of who's next, of where you're at in line. So Chelsea will be here with us as well. So if you're on right now as I'm doing the Palo Santo and you're wanting a reading, the good news is if you're on now, you're definitely getting a reading. And so I want you to just type in, I want a reading. That's your way of raising your hand, of making sure that I know that you're opting in for the reading. So we'll get going on that for starters. Okay. All right. So Chelsea, you tell me who's first. Chelsea, are you on YouTube as well? Because I see people getting in line on both places. Okay. So I'm going to have Chelsea tell me who's first, and we're going to dive into this. Okay. So I don't see Chelsea. She didn't post it for me yet, but I'm going to go with YouTube first, and then we'll go to the people on Facebook. So I'm going to go with Balenci first on YouTube, and then Chelsea might be logging into one of the sites, and then we'll be able to get going on the other stuff. And she'll tell you kind of like where you're at in line. Okay. All right, Balenci. Okay. Balenci first. Let me get kind of tuned into you for starters. So, Balenci, it's interesting. Like, I feel kind of a neutral energy that's coming in with you tonight. Oh, and you said, okay, so you do have a question. To become financially stable, should I continue advertising for my fashion business or start a new online store of some sort? If I continue with the fashion, do I focus on influencers or Facebook ads? Okay. I don't think that I might not give you specifics. I haven't turned the card over yet. But what it's really coming down to you right now is, should you be continue advertising fashion business or start a new online store? Okay. Okay. So I wanted to share with you first the energy that's coming in with you. It just feels very neutral. It doesn't necessarily feel good or bad, but it just feels like, I guess, like a little bit uninspired. It feels like I think that you are wanting to feel a little bit more right now. So that's just the energy that's coming in. Okay. So the card that's coming in, I'm going to probably pull a second since I didn't see your question until after. It's talking about skilled work being rewarded, learning all there is to know about a topic, going back to school or studying, and I'll interpret that for you in a moment. And in terms of marketing and abundance, specifically, the card is the 8 of Air. It's this illusion of being trapped, and it's really centered around lack, and there's a fear of taking action here. So I'm going to go with this card first, Balenci, since this is the one that's really tied to the things that you're talking about in terms of abundance. So there's this sense of leaving the pack here that's coming in. I think all that I want to say about this card is that there's going to be some things that you're going to need to learn, some skill sets that you're going to brush up on, because I do see you doing it yourself versus hiring someone else to kind of do it or run the ad. So it just feels like it's this leveling up that has to take place for you to bring in these new skill sets. But what I feel like is that you've been with your business sort of approaching it and doing what everyone else has been doing. But what I want you to know is that for you, it's really about separating from the pack right now and really finding a lane of your own, because you're actually making more competition for yourself by doing things too similar to what everyone is doing in your industry. So in terms of advertising, marketing, all of that, I want you to think about that. In terms of fashion business or new online store, let me see what I'm getting for that. Honestly, what I'm feeling for both of those is like it's not really about that. That I know there was some things that I talked to you about last time that are really at the core of what you need to get to right now. But for you, it's like more once you're in the mindset, I see it more so being the things that you're attracted to, that you're having the most fun with, that you end up naturally putting the most time into those things, and that they end up working out better just based on your mindset and what you're attracting and what you're manifesting with it. So I feel like you were kind of like too hyper focused on the how, and I want you to zoom out a little bit, because Balenci, I just feel like you need to see the bigger picture of this and know that there's multiple different routes to get there. And it's not so much about like, oh, am I going to make the wrong decision? So thank you, Balenci. And hi to the others that have joined. I'm going to do some people that are in queue for a reading on Facebook, and we'll be hopping back into YouTube here in a bit. So Balenci, Champagne, Mimi, Sunshine, hello. Make sure you guys are subscribing. I have another video coming out tomorrow. And then looks like Christine is next on Facebook. So I'm going to do Christine Phillips. Okay. All right. So, and for videos right now, I've been putting out 2 new videos on my channel per week. So the ones for last week, there's business affirmations that are all related to business abundance. There's one that I did last week that's all about the tools that I use personally, specifically around manifesting money. And there's 3 different things that you could start applying and using today. And the one that's coming out tomorrow is a question that I get asked a lot is, how do I choose the right tarot deck for me if I'm wanting to like just get into cards and pulling daily cards for myself? How do I know what the right deck is for me? So I have a video about that's coming up tomorrow. Okay, so Christine, let me get tuned into you. Give me just a moment. Okay. Christine, I felt a little drop in energy when I connected with you, and it feels like there's something that's going on. It feels like an emotional thing. Yeah, let me see what we have here for the cards. Okay. So the immediate thing that's coming in before I even go to the card is that there's something that you're feeling stuck in, something that's just feeling really stagnant, where there are some frustrations and some other strong emotions that are coming up from being stuck. This card, and I want this to be something that you just really need to remember and tune into right now. It's this Chariot. It's Archangel Metatron. Okay. So this is a card that's it's about embracing both parts of yourself. So within us, we all have the light and the dark, like the shadow self as well. So I almost see you holding yourself up to like an impossibly high standard, and that there's some of that, the shadow sides of things that are creating a little dissonance for you in terms of just you kind of accepting them and letting them be okay the way that they are. The card is talking about an important achievement, that there is some self-discipline and willpower, some public recognition. Okay. And you're telling me that, okay, so you're selling your home, you're in transition. There's a lot of things that you're not sure of. Okay. So I feel like there's something else as well. Like I feel like it's that and something else. The other thing feels like it's I almost want to say, I don't know if there's something with family, but it feels like some kind of like recurring thing with like a certain member of the family that's coming up. So it could definitely apply to many things, but I just want to tell you that I am picking up something like that as well. So for you, what I really want you to focus on right now, because I think that this transition with the home is sort of only the beginning of a bigger chapter, that there's a lot of opportunities and things that get to shift and change when you take this next step. So what I'm really feeling is that it feels like a pull, like instead of feeling like a pull and a separation between these different parts of yourself, that you're really being asked right now to merge these different parts of you together. And instead of seeing these more vulnerable things or these darker things as things that make you less than, make you not enough, right? That you're actually being asked to see that it really like adds to your light, that you can't really like shine a bright light without casting a big shadow. And that for you, I feel like I almost want to talk about it in terms of like herding cats, like not hurting them, but herding cats and gathering them, because it almost feels like you're sort of like working really hard to keep everything together. And it seems like with this integration that things just start to come into a place of flow where things start to move much easier, because it just feels like you're working a little too hard right now. So I'm going to leave you with that. So Chelsea, who is next, Chelsea? My goodness. And I just had the realization right now that I already start to feel like I have to pee. And for those of you that don't know, like I'm pretty pregnant. I'm like, 5.5 months pregnant at this point. And so I'm like, I know there's going to be a time in these coming months where we're going to be doing these readings. And I'm going to have to just like have a pee break, and I'll be right back. Hopefully that's not tonight and I could get through, but that's a possibility. Thanks, Christine. Okay. Who's next, Chelsea? Champagne. Okay. Champagne is next. So Champagne says, I want to know what Spirit has for me in regards to going professional with my tarot readings. Okay. Okay. So what they're wanting to talk to you about right now is business and money, Champagne. So this is the card that's coming up for you. And what I'm really seeing is that it feels like a scarcity mentality. I feel like you're looking at many different examples and you're sort of honing in on the ones that seem to be more in support of how it can't work. Like, so I just see a lot of questioning, a lot of inner critics sort of pointing out like that, oh, if you were to do that, it could stop you here, or it's going to be really hard for you to make as much as you want, that there has to be something different. And so I just see a lot of it being actually internal versus external things. And also I see you being a little too cautious with spends in terms of business, like that there's things that you actually could do and get going a little bit faster right now, but that you're not in that place yet where you're seeing it as an investment in yourself, that there's ways for you to actually speed up the process by sometimes kind of delegating or offloading. I don't know, I'm just going to make up like a website, for example, that things feel like they're sort of like tiptoeing along. But I just want you to know that a part of that tiptoeing is because you haven't yet shifted into like the full belief that it is an investment. And so there's a lot of shifts for you right now around money. I feel like you're starting to work on those, but that you're looking for, like, I keep seeing you like asking like spirit for a sign, and they keep kind of giving you all these signs, but then you're like, okay, can I get another sign? Can I get a bigger sign? And so I definitely, yes. So you can understand that. Okay. So I want you to know that that's the things that they're pointing out right now. You can do that. Okay. And I want you to start thinking like a businesswoman now in terms of money and investments. One tool that I like to use with my coaching clients sometimes is having them put someone on their crew, or I call it their spiritual board of directors, that helps them tap into these parts of themselves that they haven't fully accessed yet. So Oprah is one of mine, for example. So if I'm feeling really challenged by something, I literally like pretend like Oprah comes in and I'm like, what would she tell me to do? What would she say about this situation? And I just really get insight from, it's really just your own wisdom that you're accessing, but it's really sort of tuning into a specific energy. And it's when you use a person, it gets you tuned into that energy. So choose someone on your spiritual board of directors to be your advisor specifically with that. Okay, so you're saying your thing is more about what other people will think about the tarot readings thing. That should be like another video that I do. I'm going to do a video about that. I've been releasing videos Tuesday and Friday. So I will totally do a video about that. And we'll even talk about my trips to my husband's side of the family, where there's a Catholic priest on that side of the family. We'll talk about all that. It'll be a fun video. Okay. Yeah. Because I feel like there's a lot of people probably here and watching, like, I call it like coming out of the spiritual closet. But I think it's anytime, whether it's like spiritual stuff or readings, anytime you're taking the weird parts of your personality so that you can actually just embrace who you are and put that into your business, there's like a lot of fears and uncertainties. So we'll go there in the next video. So if that interests you, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Okay, so Jamie is next. Hi, Jamie. Jamie, okay. You get tuned into you, Jamie. Okay. Your energy feels beautiful and wonderful tonight, Jamie. So it really feels super high vibe, very much like you've been, I don't know if you've been doing like the morning routine thing, but hi, Molly. But yeah, like I really feel like the energy that you're bringing in tonight, Jamie, it feels really good. So whatever you're doing, just keep keep doing that. The card that's coming forward for you tonight is the Ace of Earth. It's talking about the inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, and that there are some possible like documents, kind of contracts, like logistical things for you to think about now at this point. So show you guys over here. So let me see what you were saying, Jamie. You took my advice and took a night out with your husband. Oh, good. Yay. So what I'm getting for you on this card is that your manifesting power is really coming into play. And I think what comes before that is like your belief system, all of that solar plexus chakra energy seems to really be aligned with you as well. I don't know if there's any work that you've been doing about like releasing the things that no longer serve you, but I almost like see you doing a meditation or some kind of visualization and sort of just cutting ties or energies of things that don't serve you anymore. So I just feel like there's sort of this energetic like clearing out, this cleansing out that you've been doing. And I feel like that's also a part of the manifesting stuff that's been going on. So it's like, Abraham Hicks would say, like, you're putting a lot of stuff into your vortex. You have been releasing. Okay, good. The only thing that I want you to, because I feel like you are in a really good place right now, I just want you to be careful to not hold on to things too tightly. That sometimes when you hold on like a little too tightly, that you're not like giving them room to breathe, that you're not able to be as flexible and as agile with it. So that's the only thing that I would say as like a little tweak. Okay, cool. Thank you, Jamie. All right, Chelsea, who is next? Who is next? All right, I'm just looking for Chelsea to guide me here on who is next. Thanks, Jamie. Chelsea, I don't see it yet. Oh, there we go. Mimi on YouTube. Okay. And then we'll be back to the Facebook peeps. Okay. Okay, so Mimi, your initial question was, does Dario think I'm bad at singing? And then you changed it and you said, well, technically he does music too, so that I could do business with him. Okay, so I'm going to pick a card for you. And I don't know that we're going to specifically answer that. It's going to be some things that are around that I think are important for you to hear. But I don't know if we're going to specifically dive into Dario, because I don't know who Dario is, but it's not necessarily about him. It's about you. So that's what I always tell people in coaching as well. If they're bringing in something else, I say, well, I can't coach them. I can coach you and how you show up here. So that's what I'm thinking we're going to get for you too, Mimi. Okay. So, okay. The cards, I am going to do two. The card that's coming up for you, there's a Justice card. So I do want you to read a little bit about this Archangel and just see some other things that resonate with you. It's Archangel Raguel, Raguel. Raguel. Oh, my hand's over there. Raguel. You see the name? Raguel. Okay. So this card is like really talking about like strength and power, because I feel like I see you going back and forth, like that there's times where you are in full belief, and then there's times where you're caring kind of too much again about other people's opinions. And one of my favorite things that I remind myself of, that Abraham Hicks says all the time, you guys can tell I really like Abraham Hicks, is what other people think of you is none of your business. And I love that. And I one of the things that I constantly remind myself of, that'll probably come up in that video, Champagne, that I was telling you I'm going to make. So this is really about standing in your own belief and really realizing that what other people think of you, that you've built it up on this big platform to hold a lot of meaning, but that's their thing. And if we try to serve everybody and care about what everyone thinks, then we're not really like serving and honoring ourselves. And so that's the first thing we're going to say for that one. The other one is this Queen of Earth card that's coming forward. So this is the one that's like really representing you in your power. And it is a very powerful card. This one is thoughtful, creative, warm, sensible. It's talking about many things, definitely dealing with your challenges in a kind and understanding manner. And for you, I feel like it's like that kindness and understanding towards yourself. And I want you to know that you are actually a very powerful manifester. Are you still watching, Mimi? I might have told Mimi some things that she didn't want to hear. Are you still there, Mimi? I'll see if you're still here because I want to make sure I'm not just talking to no one. But I do really want you to realize in terms of like your music that number one, it's about you and you kind of standing in firm belief of yourself. And then number two, it's a lot about manifesting and starting to manifest and see the things and be grateful for the things that you're wanting in your career with music before they even happen. So I don't even know if you're here still, Mimi. So I'm going to go to Facebook. Okay. So Chelsea, who is next? Is it Facebook? Is it, where are we at right now? I see Molly's name on the bottom, but I'm not sure if that means that she is next. Can you confirm that for me, Chelsea? Are you saying that Molly is next, or am I misunderstanding that? Molly, okay. Okay, Molly, hi. Hope you had a good birthday. Molly, okay. Get tuned into you. Okay. Yeah, it's an interesting like energy pattern that I see coming in for you right now. It's sort of like, it does do like a dip, but it like, because you made that dip, like I feel like you're able to go really high with your energy right now. So I think that's really interesting because our lowest lows end up increasing our capacity to also go higher on the opposite end as well. So that's pretty interesting because I do feel like it feels like there's a good flow going for you right now with the energy. But that's, I'll leave it at that for the energy. With the cards, there's the 8 of Earth card around learning and studying. And then there's also this Archangel Michael card, which is the main one. The other ones I feel like is coming in more as a support card. So it does feel like there's, let me check in on this. Okay. Is there a big decision, Molly, that you're looking to make? Because I get the sense that there's a big, and I get chills when I say that, there's this big decision that you've been sitting with, and that the things that they're asking you to consider is organization and logic, having some structure and discipline and leadership. Like, I want to say specifically for you, it's like leadership in terms of you as the leader within your own life. And there's a lot of yellow. And so this feels very tied. It's a decision that's very tied to solar plexus. That it's very much about thoughts and beliefs around self. I do feel like a part of it as well is that there's a little bit of stubbornness coming in too. I don't know if that's coming from you or from somewhere else in the situation. And I think this other card, this learning card that came in with it, it's more about finding the time to learn and reflect through past experiences. And so I think that you're being pointed to right now that the learning from the past experiences is the thing that you need to be mindful of when you're making this decision. So I'll leave you with that. There are a lot of big decisions, and yes, you're stubborn. Okay. All right, Chelsea, who is next? Maybe Chelsea, if you could tell me like the next two. I might ask you again. I might totally forget after just one, but then maybe that could work. And then we can just sort of like go a little bit faster. Okay. So I know we still have Sunshine over here on YouTube. I don't know if there's anyone else. Is there anyone new? It looks like there's some new people that joined on YouTube. Say hi to me if you're, hi Sunshine. Say hi to me if you're just joining on YouTube as well. If you haven't said something so that we know that you're here. And also, if you want a reading, then you definitely want to say something so that we can get you in queue, that Chelsea can get you in queue for a reading. Because we still have a good amount of time left. We're only like halfway through. You know what decisions I'm talking about, Molly? Okay, good. Okay. Hi, Leona. Chelsea will get you in queue. Hi, Bella. All right. Chelsea. Chelsea, is it Leona that's next? I'm not seeing if it's pinned or not. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Jennifer, as well. I know Jennifer's been waiting. Okay. Chelsea, can you pin for me? I don't know who's, you guys can see. There's Chelsea. Okay. You guys see how much I rely on Chelsea to keep these organized? It's too hard sometimes if I'm like scrolling and trying to do that. So it's better. Okay. So up next is Sunshine on YouTube and then Jennifer Bowden on Facebook. Sweet. Okay. Sunshine. Let me scroll through and see if you had a specific question. I don't know if you had a specific question. Maybe we're doing general reading here for you, Sunshine. Does that work? Okay. Okay. So let me just connect in with you, Sunshine. Give me one moment. Okay. So initially, did you post it? Looking and seeing. Oh, do you see my... Oh, college guy friend and I doing art graphic design business together soon. Okay. Oh, thank you for reposting that too. So I will say the first read that I got on you just in connecting with your energy is really a lot of what I call like heart energy, that you seem to be leading from there and kind of emanating and radiating from there, and just bringing a lot of love into everything that you do. So that is a good thing. You're very much on track with that. And it's interesting that you're talking about a college friend, because it's talking about this time of studying in school with this card. And so it's interesting that you're asking about the college friend, because this card definitely has the college vibe. So that's looking interesting. There are both cards are coming up around what I'm feeling around money as well. So it does really feel right now that there's this is like a time for you to take the leap into starting a business, but I feel a lot of hesitation, a lot of like fears, a lot of just a lot of what ifs that are coming into play right now as well. So I just want you to keep that in mind, because I do feel like right now that you're doing a bit of I don't want to call it overthinking. I want to call it like over rationalizing, kind of stalling. It feels like a little bit of making things a little bit more harder or complicated. And it's not to say that you should just like throw all things to the wind. But it does feel like that there's really no reason for you to not start. There's no reason for you to not be successful. So I think that is just a really good thing for you to know right now. So let me just check in terms of like the graphic design business. Let me just check in first with you in graphic design, and then we'll see if we get anything with him. Okay. So the sense that I'm getting is that like either can be an option. Is there another thing that you do, Sunshine? You create an Instagram to start showing your artwork. Okay. Is the art the other thing that you do? Because my sense is that there's another thing that you do, that the only thing is that if you start this other thing with him, that like it doesn't feel like this other thing gets to be a part of it as much. So I feel like there's like different considerations for each. I do feel like the reason that you're looking to start it with him is because you're not thinking that you can do it solo and on your own, which really isn't true. There's really no reason that I'm feeling that you can't be successful doing it on your own. And so I almost feel like there's nothing negative about you doing with it, the business with him, because I do feel like it's sort of headed in that direction. But I just want you to be aware of what isn't going to be a part of it with this other stuff that you do. I don't know what else it is that you, what the other thing is that you do. That I don't want to dive into that right now, since we're just doing like a quick one. But it just feels like there's this other more like skills, talents, parts of you that when you blend with another person, that there's something that doesn't necessarily come to fruition. I feel like with this other guy, with you getting started with this other like business partner, that it seems to be kind of like a stepping stone to a bigger thing. But I feel like this is just the beginning. So I just want you to know with this business and the iteration of this business and this other guy, that it's really only just the beginning, that there's something a lot bigger that you're meant to do. And it's beyond graphic design, that there's these other skills and talents that you have. And graphic design might be a part of it, but I just don't see, I feel like it does feel more of like kind of like a temporary kind of like maybe like a year or two you'll do that and then you'll move on to something else. But there's one other thing that wants to come in. Okay. The only thing I just want you to be aware of with the other person is to plan for the breakup ahead of time. So not to say that it's going to end negatively, but to just think of, okay, if one person wants to part ways or when you do separate, to just plan and talk about that when you guys are both in this like neutral place before there's anything on the line. Okay. Thanks, Sunshine. Thanks, Molly, for joining me on YouTube too. Okay. So I know we're going to, okay. So Chelsea's telling me too that we're going to sort of hop around in random order after Jennifer. So I'm going to do Jennifer Bowden on Facebook. And then because we're starting to get a lot of people and we're in the last 20 minutes, we're going to sort of like dabble around here and there. Okay. Hi, Caitlin. Thanks, Sunshine. Thanks for joining. Okay. Jennifer. Let me tune into you, Jennifer. Okay. So Jennifer, when I first started tuning into you, I'm feeling like you're stuck. Would you say those are the right words? Like it feels like you're stuck, and that you're trying to make a decision between some different things, and it feels like it's really weighing heavy on your heart. So, and I know it's about business, but I do feel like as well that it's weighing heavy on your heart, even though it's business related. Yes. Okay. So this 3 of Earth card is coming forward. This talking about the power of creativity, recognition for high quality work, being a team player. I'm not necessarily wanting you to connect in with those words and phrases. So what I want you to tune into is that when there's some connection that you have with being outside, the outdoors. I don't know if it's like gardening or something like that, but it's something about actually like getting your hands dirty or having like bare feet, like on the grass or in the dirt. Like there's some connection for you in terms of the outdoors and nature, and it opens something up in you. So whatever choices you've been trying to make and things that you've been feeling stuck with, what I see you doing is finding time and going outdoors, and that things start to open up for you. I don't know exactly what your activity is. It feels like something that you used to do that you haven't been doing as much anymore, but I just really want you to dive into that and then to revisit these different things, because what I'm giving you right now, what they're giving you through me right now, is it's being explained as like, this is a tool. This is a thing that you can use and have in your toolkit, so that when you're feeling like this again, that instead of like needing someone else to give you the answer, that they're giving you a piece of information of how you connect with your own answers, how you find that. Because I feel like that's something really important that I feel like I'm wanting to highlight that right now. The other thing as well is your spirit team, that I do feel like you have, and I get chills as I talk about this, a rather large spirit team. I don't know if there's anyone that you work with in terms of like angels, guides, if there's deceased loved ones or friends that have passed on, but I do feel like there's a lot of people that are showing up that are very eager to help you. And so it's interesting because I feel the cough in my throat. There's like telling me like she's not talking to us, she's not asking us for help, but they're trying to say you need to ask us for help so that we can start to help you show up in these ideas. And I feel like a part of the reason that they're wanting you to get outside as well is that there's one of the deceased loved ones, 1 or 2 of them send something that comes through nature. So I don't know if for you it's like something like butterflies or hummingbirds, that there's something like that gets sent to you, and it sort of becomes this reminder of people being here that aren't actually here, that we can't see and touch. So those are the things that I want you to tune into right now that are really going to make a big difference, Jennifer? Okay, thank you. I'm glad that you finally made it on here too, because I know you've been wanting to do this for a few weeks. Okay, so I see Dazzle Davis joined us recently. Hi, Dazzle. And who else? Okay, she's picking for me. She's going to kind of just intuitively draw who should be next. And Chelsea, is that Bella? Are we going with Bella? Okay, we're going to go with Bella. I don't see if Chelsea's pinned anyone, so we're going to go with Bella. Okay, Bella. Bella, okay, cool. I don't see a specific question, but Bella, I'm going to just kind of pull through anything generally that I'm getting for you. Okay, so it's the King of Earth card that's coming forward. Yeah, I do feel like your energy feels like, I want to say like healer, light worker. Do you do something like this as well? Because that's how your energy feels. Kind of comes in very soft, but very high vibrational and powerful. So the King of Earth card, it is actually talking about, you do, okay, a successful time, a kind to confidently accept opportunities that you're offered, and the Midas touch, like where things are just turning to gold. So my feeling for you, Bella, have you been upping your manifesting game lately? Because I do think like you're entering into this time right now where things seem to be going very well. I see you stepping up your game in terms of business. Like you're thinking about strategy in a way that you haven't before, that you have really, what it feels like is like you're at the edge of like taking this this leap right now. And I feel like this is a card that's coming through as a confirmation for you to take that leap, because I just feel like I want to say yes to whatever you're questioning, that your spirit team is just like, yes, girl, like it's time, let's do this. And so, yeah, it's very much feeling like you're stepping up your game. Have you been working with color like a little bit more? I don't know what that means exactly, if it's like colors and energies or like chakras or like art, but I just feel like there's something as well important that I want to talk to you about in terms of color. But I'll leave it at that so we can go to somebody different. But thank you for joining. Okay. Okay, Chelsea, are you picking next randomly? Am I want to go quickly so we can fit in as many people as possible in these last few minutes. So keep me updated on who's on deck. And just keep in mind that if you're listening and you don't get a reading for you, that if there's something that you hear that really resonates, that feels like it could be for you, that the people that often get picked are the ones that there's some kind of message that comes out for other people that other people needed to hear. So keep that in mind. Okay. So Jenny, I'm going to go to Jenny. All right. Let me get tuned into you, Jenny. Okay. Okay. So before I pull and turn over the card, Jenny, I feel like a little drop. I feel like it's just in terms of energy, I feel like it's something coming in around you kind of questioning or not trusting your gut, like in terms of feelings. Like it actually seems like it's a sense that you kind of should have gone with your first instinct, but didn't. and that there's a little bit of emotional backlash that's coming. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's like it's coming out in terms of awareness. But I like this card that's coming through for you right now. It's this Seven of Air. Okay, so I'm going to say with this one, it's the more going on than meets the eye is the part that's really resonating with you. But I just want you to notice these two horses back here that are sort of like leaving the merry-go-round, the round and round. And there's some rebel energy that always is represented when this card comes forward. And so the important thing that I really want you to be aware of right now is that you have this choice to separate yourself from the pack, so to speak, and just fully do your own thing. And it is it's more like an inner challenge for you because I do feel like it's not necessarily something that seems like a big outward change, but it feels like more like there's this kind of internal rebellion, right? And in the best ways, like I mean that in the best ways of you just choosing to not follow suit with the things that maybe you thought you just kind of had to do because that's just the way that everyone else does it. It does feel like there's this shift that starts internally, and then as a result, a lot of big things start to change because I see you asking for changes and wanting changes. Yes, okay. And it starts with this, and then it's kind of like this domino effect that a lot of different things come into play through this one choice to just be you and be good with that. So yeah, it's the Seven of Air card, if you want to dive into it. Okay. Who do we have next? Okay. So Jenny, where are we going next? We did Jenny. And I'll tell you guys, before we go to the last few people, I have a training that's going live starting next week, and I can send you the link to it when it goes live. It's a free training. It's going to be available at many different times. And it is my 5 shifts to actually finally launch your dream business. The dream business that you've sort of been like putting off and procrastinating, all of those different things. And it's my 5 things that I share that literally, like when my best friends are like wanting to start a business, it's packed into the 35 minutes, like a lot of information of exactly what I give them and tell them that they need to think about. So I want you guys to drop me a note if you want that link to watch the training once it goes live. And Jennifer, you can watch the replay. There'll be a replay that comes in. Okay, so we're going to go with Dazzle Davis on YouTube. And then Leona. Okay, so Dazzle Davis on YouTube. I've had a business partnership with a guy in my past, but we had a little fling and stopped talking. Can I see the situation? Okay. I'll see what comes up around that. I feel like it might end up being something that's like related to the situation, but it might be a little bit bigger picture than that. So I'll see what we get, okay? So let me just kind of tune into you first to get started. Okay. Okay. So the bigger thing that's actually coming through, can I just call you Dazzle? Because I like that. It's more like about the stuckness in the heart for you that I'm feeling about, because what's feeling bigger and more important here, like I don't even feel like they want to go here, that they're more in terms of you kind of getting that energetic tie, because it's still impacting you. And there's a lot of things that you're kind of, it feels like you're kind of closed off to and walled up to as a result of it. Yes, Dazzle, you are on right now. I'm talking about you. So if you missed that, you could kind of rewind to get the replay after. So the card that came forward for you as well, it is a very powerful card. It's this Page of Air card, and it's talking about that there's some challenging information, that there's some delays or changes of plans, that there's truth delivered without tact. I'm trying to see which person that is, because I do feel like what I'm getting is the reason that this is coming back to you, because being that we're in this Mercury retrograde right now, it's a lot of the re-energy. So there's a time of kind of reflection. So I think that there's times where things that you probably haven't thought about are coming back in, because there's something that you need to grasp and learn from it before you fully let go and cut that tie. Okay. I noticed something going on with my throat chakra as well. So there's a lot about things not being said that's coming forward here. And I'm trying to see. Okay. What I'm feeling with the other person is that there's a lot of things that like they're not really able to kind of communicate the way that they feel with things all the time. So that's sort of muddying up the situation. And so what they're just wanting you to know is it's not necessarily all about you, and that you need to stop making it about you, because you're sort of like, you're overcomplicating it quite a bit. I do want you to, I want you to cut the ties to that though, energetically, because after you, sorry, let me check with this really quick. Okay. What I'm feeling is like there's a way that you can cut the energetic ties to it and then look at the situation with a better perspective, where you have a more clear head and it's like less emotional, where you're looking at it from a place of learning. So that's what I'm getting for you. In terms of truth delivered without tact, I feel like that's the other part of the card. I do think that you seem to have a sense. Okay. I don't think this is necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. I think this is more of like a self-knowledge thing, that sometimes people do feel like you can be very blunt. And I do think in some situations it works as like it's a real benefit for you. And in other situations, people don't always take it as well. But I just want you to understand that about yourself. And yeah, that's what I'm getting. I feel like this situation is just like, it's been held on to too long. It's just a little too complicated. So I just want you to work with it a little bit so that you can let go of it. Okay. Yeah, Dazzle, that was all for you, hon. So you're going to have to just watch the replay. Because I think I had started on you, but when you left and you came back. Okay. Leona. Yeah, I said a lot. So you're just going to have to watch the replay, fast forward to, I don't know, 50 something minutes and then rewatch it. Okay. All right, Leona Sharp. Okay, let me just get tuned into you. Okay. So what's initially coming in, Leona, for you is it's just like that you have this very powerful energy. And the things that I'm hearing before I turned over the card is, I don't know what she's so worried about. Why is she even worried about this? She doesn't need to worry about this. I don't know if that connects to you and if that would make sense based on some of your current thought patterns. It's a 7 of Fire card. It's talking about defending your beliefs and decisions, staying grounded, choosing your battles wisely. So I'll show you the card first. So there's a few things I want you to keep in mind. You are feeling kind of like a little bit ungrounded right now. So I do want you to focus on grounding, because I do feel a lot of the anxieties and the questioning starts to creep in when you're not grounded enough, and that you are able to really like firmly stand your ground more often when you are fully grounded. I also want you to know that there's like a lot of protection that's coming in with this thing that you've been sort of like hemming and hawing over. And so, yeah, exactly what I said first, when they're just like, why is she worried about this? Why she doesn't need to worry. Vanilla Q, Leona is on Facebook. I'm live in 2 places. So there's people on Facebook and on YouTube. So she's on Facebook. Okay. I'm going to go with one more person. One more person. I'm gonna let Chelsea tell me who's the last person, last reading for tonight. Thanks, Leona. Linda Mendez. Okay. So Linda, I'm going to have you be the last one for tonight. And I will tell you guys that for those of you that did not get a reading, I am doing this every Monday at 7 Pacific on Facebook and YouTube. And the people that hop in the first 5 minutes, they always get a reading. So it tends to be after the halfway point that we start to kind of like get a lot more people joining, which is awesome. So please come back and let's do it again if you didn't get a reading, because I'll be back next Monday. And I have a lot of cool stuff. Unless you don't want to wait, you can totally, I'm open to receiving, and you can pay me for a full reading. But if you want the free one, I'll be here next Monday. So Leona, okay. Oh, sorry, Linda. Let me get tuned into Linda Mendez. Okay. Okay. Everything that's coming in right now, Linda, is it has to do with the lower chakras. So a lot of things coming in around like safety, security. It does feel like there's some concerns like financial wise as well. There's some solar plexus stuff coming in. So I just a lot of that energy there. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're feeling like a little bit drained lately, like a little bit more tired, because I feel like there's, it just feels like there's some heavier things that are sort of weighing you down right now. Would that make sense? So the Empress card is coming up for you. And I do want you after this just to look up Archangel Gabriel. You can see the spelling, Archangel Gabriel. So Archangel Gabriel, because I think that when you are reading that there's going to be some things that come up that really resonate for you when you read about the different things that you can call on that archangel for. And I'm sure there's going to be many different descriptions that highlight different things. So find the one that resonates and read that, because I think that that's going to be really important for you. Despite the energy that I'm feeling, the card is pointing towards abundance, that it's this time to give birth to your dreams, to nurture yourself and others. And so I feel like it's interesting because I feel like you kind of have like a foot in both worlds, so to speak, that there's times where you are still you do call upon that. Okay, good. Yeah, I feel like there's times where you seem very connected and your vision seems very clear. And then you sort of go back into what I want to call like kind of like old patterns, old thinking, because I do feel like you've like upgraded and done a lot of personal development around it, but then sometimes you kind of slip back in and it slows you down and it holds you back. Are you at the point, Linda, of either like choosing if you're going to launch a business or taking a big step forward, like a leap forward in your business? Because I do get that sense, like with both energies coming in, like I feel like it feels like there's some kind of choice that you're teetering between, but it does feel like a big deal. Would that make sense? Trying to see if that makes sense to you, Linda. Linda, where are you? But anyway, I don't see Linda. I wanted to get confirmation on that, but I do see you going back and forth. So I just want you to, are you familiar, Linda, like with like any of your, like your animal guides, animals that you work with in spirit? I know you said that you call on that archangel a lot, but okay, that you're not sure what to do. Okay. My thought right now is that there's this animal guide that wants to work with you in spirit. That let's just pull this. I'm just going to pull this one. We're going over time just a little bit, but let me just see what animal card comes forward for you. Okay, Linda. Okay. I feel like there's multiple, but it does feel like there is one in particular that's like wanting to step forward to work with you at this point in time. Okay. I want you to look up parrot as well. And it's going to have to do with what you speak into your reality. And also in terms of, I'm getting color things for you as well. But it's also in terms of how you work with colors. Sorry. I'm trying to see what you're not sure what to do. Okay. Or what type of company. Okay. So look up parrot. I don't want to dive into that meaning too much, but just look up like parrot animal totem or parrot spirit animal and just see the things that represents, because that's the one that I feel like is flying in right now to support you on this journey. I feel like it's a little bit of a longer question in terms of diving into what kind of business you would do exactly. But I do feel like the thing that I mentioned earlier, the training that I'm starting next week, it's a free training that it's basically specifically for the 5 shifts that people need to make to start their dream business. And I think that feels like it would be good for you. So if that's of interest, just write like training or something like that. So when it goes live next week, I can go back and get it for you, because I think that the other question that you're asking in terms of what business, it would be a much longer reading, but I want you to just right now work with Archangel, look into Archangel Gabriel, look at the parrot energy, and those are sort of your tools to get better connected with that. Okay. And then Jennifer, about the training as well. I would say I could send it to you like once the link goes live with all the different times, then I will send that to you as well. Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining me tonight on YouTube and on Facebook. I will be back next week, Monday, 7 Pacific. Bring your friends, join me, and make sure you get here early if you really want to make sure that you get a reading. If you get here within the first couple minutes, everyone that comes in the first few minutes always gets a reading. So that's your way to make sure. Thank you guys. Have a good